up an escalator. Grad is to the left of you, okay?
It was much bigger last year.
Okay, Catholic?
Yeah.
What time of year was it?
I think it was like summer. Here's one of my schools. So here.
Do work with organisations. In term 2, across these 4 modules, we do some project work that covers different disciplines with some actual businesses, live businesses around here, where the business school is. It's an area called Tech City, which is supposedly the largest cluster of tech startups in the world outside of the US. There's one in San Diego and one in New York that's bigger. The one in London is the biggest one outside the States. And we work with these companies in there, with the students in term 2 doing real projects on real business issues there. So it gives you a very practical part of the course. Rather than internship,
I mean, I can send you some more information if you want.
Yeah, we are working with businesses to bring out the
more information. Grab my card as well if this works.
And then your MBA is like after 3 years old.
MBA, yeah, normally you have at least 5 years work experience in MBA. MBA is much more general as well. You do marketing as part of it, but you also do some finance, organizational behaviour, you do some strategy.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I'm interested in the PhD program in psychology that you have.
Okay. Is it are you counselling psychology you're interested in, or health psychology?
Health.
Health psychology.
Are those the only 2 options you have?
Well, if you're looking at doing like the professional integrated 3-year PhD program, yes, but it kind of depends on your background at the moment. Do you have a background in psychology and a master's in psychology already?
I have my undergrad is in psychology, master's in counseling.
In counseling psychology, okay. And is it counseling you want to?
Or it's mental health counseling.
Okay, and is that what you want to kind of continue with going forward?
Right.
Okay, well, I mean, traditionally within the kind of counselling psychology program, it is this integrated D-Psych, which is normally for people who have a bachelor's in psychology, have some kind of counselling skills training, and some face-to-face experience of working within the counselling environment. And then they do that 1-year masters, and then for the following 2 years they get the doctoral program. However, if you don't want to do the kind of the structured program, which includes the masters, then you could apply directly just to do your research or the PhD program with the university.
Right. How does that process work, applying for the research?
It's pretty complicated, to be honest. It's probably more difficult than it is applying for a structured master's program or a structured doctoral program. What you really need to do is go onto our website, and within the psychology faculty there'll be information about the type of research which is being undertaken within the counselling area. So is there you said mental health is kind of the area that you want to focus on then, is it going forward?
I'm thinking about like PTSD is my main focus.
Okay, sure.
Research area focus.
I don't honestly know whether there is anyone within City University who's focusing on that. I'm not aware if there is, but the best place to find out is on the psychology website, on our main website. There is a list of all the research focus that we have and what our academics are looking into. That will tell you whether anyone's looking into post-traumatic stress disorder, and if they are, then you can reach out to them, drop them an email and say, this is the particular area I'm interested in looking into, this is the type of research I want to do, is it of interest to the university and to you as an individual?
Okay, now if it is, what's the next step after that? Once I contact them and they say it's something that
then it would be a formal application. So you'd make a formal application to the university where you then submit your research proposal. So it's like a formal research proposal that you send through to the university, which I believe is around sort of 5,000 words, or maybe not as many as 5,000, maybe slightly less than that. But you send through the formal research proposal to the university, and then the academic who has potentially said, maybe, send me the proposal, will look at that and then make a decision as to whether it's something that he or she feels like they can support. Because obviously someone needs to supervise you through the whole research process and needs to have an element of expertise, and also whether it's something that's of interest to them as an individual as well, because they want to do something that's going to help probably with their future career and the kind of type of research they're doing, and whether they think it's going to be good for the university and it's going to be internationally relevant research which is going to drive forward the quality of research at the university at the moment.
Okay.
So it is quite a long-term process, and it's quite difficult. I've never heard, to be honest, of anyone within the university doing research into that area.
What's the most difficult thing about it?
It's just that there's no formal admissions requirement. If you apply for a master's, then we're looking for a GPA of 3.2 in psychology. You write a personal statement, but there's like a formal admissions process that's quite straightforward. When you apply for a research degree, it's a bit more subjective, and you have to engage with the academic. It's not so much of a tick box exercise. You meet this requirement, you meet this one, okay, you're in.
Yeah.
You have to get into a bit more of a negotiation and obviously put together that proposal that you're sending to the university as well.
Okay.
But I would say the best thing to do is on the British Council website. You'll find a full list of all universities in the UK that offer counselling, psychology, masters related programs. Once you find that list, then just look on their individual websites, and it won't be that many universities that offer that. Look on their websites and look at the type of research that they're doing.
What is it called? British Council?
The British Council, so it's britishcouncil.org. .org, and on there's like a search function for all UK universities. So that's just searching for the masters, but what that will tell you is that they've got a specialism within counselling psychology, and then you can click on through to their website and look whether they have a specialist research unit within post-traumatic stress disorder.
Okay, can you tell me more about the health psychology? What's the difference between that and the counselling?
Health psychology is a bit more of a kind of generalist program, I guess. So the counselling one is specifically for people who want to develop a career working within the counselling area. Health psychology, I guess, is a bit more diverse. There's quite a lot more different disparate areas potentially you could go into. Again, there's either the integrated 3-year DPsych, which we have, so as I say again, 1 year kind of masters and then the 2-year research. But the masters that you do is very research focused for both counselling and for the health psychology program. So you're kind of developing your research proposal for your PhD during the first year. You have some teaching, but probably slightly less than you have on some other master degree programs.
Okay. Now, what's the how does a doctoral degree from London translate over to like American standards?
In terms of counselling, I'm not 100% sure how easy it is to transfer across. You may have to do some additional testing to have your counselling qualification recognised in the US. The best thing to do is probably to check with the the American Psychological Society to see how easy it is to transfer. I mean, obviously the systems are very similar, and the British degree in general is recognised across the world and definitely here in the US.
Right.
But sometimes with some of the professional qualifications, there may be something additional that you would have to
like
do.
for licensure, it's probably
Exactly,
different.
because I'm sure there are differences in the system. Fundamentally, as I say, same standard, but there's bound to be professional differences and professional requirements that are mildly different between the two countries.
Okay, now as far as applying and like getting the visa, relocating, moving, how does that process work? You get accepted to the school first and then get the visa?
You do, yeah. I mean, the whole visa process should be fairly straightforward. Essentially what you need to do is you apply to the university. If we accept you to come and do the program with us, we send something to the border agency called a confirmation of acceptance to study, like a CAS statement. We send that electronically, you'll get a copy of that. And then outside of that, you just need to demonstrate that you have the funds available to pay for your education and for your living costs, or that you're planning to use maybe US federal funding, because you can transfer that across to most British universities as well. So you're either just showing that you've got that and that you've got an acceptance at the university, and fundamentally that's kind of the main two things that we're looking for in order to accept you in to get the visa.
Okay.
There are other things, you've got to make sure you fill the form in at the right time, and there's lots of like procedural things that you need to make sure you stick to. You're doing it at the right time, you've got the money in the account for the right period of time, and all this sort of stuff. But fundamentally, what you need is acceptance from a university and confirmation that you have the funds to cover your studies.
Okay. All right.
Cool. If you want me to send you any more information, I can scan your badge as well, if that'd be useful.
Yeah.
You are there, can you help?
Yeah, I have a question. Just kind of talking about the idea that you have to have the money in your account when you apply for your visa.
Yeah.
How much is it?
Do you know how much money you need to apply for visas?
For London, I believe it's just over £9,000 for 1 year's living costs, about 9,100, which in reality probably isn't enough, but that's how much legally you need to have. Great. It's Daniela.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, great. So grab one of these as well. Have you got one of these already?
Would you
No,
Do you have any questions? But I'd say that's the best thing to do. You have to look at all the websites and kind of troll through them and read about what's offered and what the research is.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Are you thinking about
So you're gonna get both of that at HEC.
Well, in terms of master's programs, we have the main sort of anthropology. Oh, in fact, there's two. There's an MRes and there's an anthropology, environment and development. So this will be the main master. When it says MRes, an MRes is essentially a master's program, but it's designed for people who want to go either into a career in research, or who definitely want to go on to a PhD. So it just has a higher concentration of research skills. I'll pull up details of both. Yeah, that's when so an MRes is a sort of more of a research focus. It's more, it's not so much the nature of the subject. It's the fact that it's more research than actually a taught program. But I'll just get some more information.
Do you know if it has any concentration?
Well, that's what I'm just hopefully going to show you.
So have you been to London before? Okay, so you go to King's Cross and have your family take them like Harry Potter's Cross. It's about
So this is the one which is called Anthropology, Environment and Development. So that's kind of the structure of the course. So these are taught modules that all students do. These are optional modules, and then all students do a research project as well. So this is more environmental implications and outcomes of these activities in terms of human subsistence welfare. So whether that doesn't sound too cultural, or does it?
I don't want
because we're trying to map the brain.
Okay, right. Let's see.
So yeah, so definitely if you go onto the website.
I think we've got a program called Intercultural Studies, which is just
after this, it's going to be like a research.
Excuse me, I'm just gonna grab one
Have you got the magic finger?
And then if I were to apply to the program,
To the library. Yeah.
if I were to apply to the program, let's say I want to do it before, what would be the last date to apply?
The pub.
Because I know I would have to get a student visa to fly to London and stay there, correct?
Yeah, I mean the application for next September will open mid-October. Most students will apply before March, but the actual deadline will be probably 1st of July. I wouldn't apply as late as July or June. So I would apply, where most do before March.
Correct. And how would financial assistance go by this? I mean, am I able to take out loans? I mean, I would apply for scholarships, but if that wasn't available...
There are scholarships, and you can transfer US federal loans to the UK. So I would say most students are probably funded through a combination of some personal resources, maybe some scholarships, and sort of some loans.
And then in the seminar they did tell us that in the UK you don't need the GRE, so you go by your GPA and then letters of recommendation. Is that correct?
Yeah, only 2 programs need a GRE, but anthropology isn't one of them. So yeah, your undergraduate degree, GPA, not just the GPA, but the detail of what you studied, personal statement, why the program or why the subject, but why at UCL, how it sort of fits in with your plans to further develop. Then some letters of recommendation as well. So that's the basis on which we make a decision.
So then just I'll look up intercultural studies, correct?
Yeah, my technology is failing.
And when they come back hopefully and say yes, I can take research to your research, then you write the proposal together.
I will
you give me your
and then you
details,
submit your application.
I'll send you.
Yeah, so the application is pretty, like, by the time that you've spoken to them, they said they want to work with you, you've written the proposal together, when you actually submit the application, it should, like, you've done all the work. So that's how it works.
And about starting the date, do you have the exact date? For example, I think some school in the United States didn't start in September.
Yeah, and if you...
There will be some flexibility there depending on your supervisor. I mean, generally...
We're based in the centre of London, so a lot of everything is...
Depending on the department.
As much as a campus can be in the centre of the city.
You're going to be doing your own research.
Yeah, we're not actually...
Depending on what your
It's not totally defined. It's a bit like Columbia and NYU.
I mean, mechanical engineering...
So in terms of where you live, it's great.
I think it's under mechanical engineering.
So it may be that you
We're
don't
part
have
of
a
the
start
broader
date, you just have an arrival date for your first meeting with your supervisor. But yeah, I mean,
that
a
level,
PhD can be flexible depending on what the supervisor expects of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The other thing, let me, another thing for you to look at.
It's affordable as it can be, but yeah, obviously it's not just like one price, but the general rule is, with a few exceptions along the route. The further you are from the centre,
this is unique to UCL. We have an institute for making, which sounds really broad, but it's an interdisciplinary
in terms of work,
institute that is designed to have people who are interested in engineering, people who are interested in product development, working together on different projects and bringing different things in. So have a look at that as well, because you might be very interested.
Yeah.
You do find that it's quite a demanding program.
Hi, thanks for waiting.
Yeah, I'm interested in the doctoral degree in psychology. You guys have one of those, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said, sorry, did you say master's degree?
No, doctoral degree.
Doctoral degree, yeah, PhD. Yeah, okay.
In psychology.
Yeah, okay, so let me, do you want to put that down for a minute?
I'm okay. No,
you're right? Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
So the way a PhD application works for UCL is it's almost backwards engineered. The application is actually the last thing you do. Writing the proposal is the second to last thing you do. And then this lovely diagram here will tell you later. But the first thing that you really need to do is I imagine you already know what research you want to do in psychology.
I have some ideas.
Yeah. So you need to find the professor that's going to supervise you first. That's the first step in doing a PhD application. So have you already found someone at UCL who's researching in the area that you want to go into?
Not yet. I mean, I have a list of different faculty, but I haven't really went into it yet.
Yeah. So the first step is maybe refining that list. I mean, it's fine to reach out to more than one person. I mean, they might talk to each other about it. It's a bit awkward, but finding out who's going to be best suited to supervise you, writing, say, a 500-word proposal, just outlining what it is you want to research and why, selling yourself, basically, as a PhD candidate. And then you email that professor, and you reach out to them.
Do you know how to do the scanning and things?
No, I have no idea.
Well, no, do the number.
You've got there's a QR code. So that's the first step. And then when that research, and so you sell yourself, you include a bit of a proposal, and you ask them if they've got capacity to take a PhD candidate, and then they come back and say yes or no. Hopefully they come back and say yes, and then you'll carry on a dialogue, which will include writing up your proposal, refining your ideas, and then that research proposal that you've written together then gets submitted with your application.
You write it together with the professor? Oh.
Pretty much. I mean, he's not going to babysit you or hold your hand or anything like that, but that 500 words you send is going to outline roughly what it is you want to do.
Okay.
They're going to come back and say, okay, if you thought about this, this is how you could refine it, this is how it could be better. So they're going to collaborate with you on writing that proposal. So the actual application is pretty much a done deal by that point, because the guy who's going to supervise you and review the application has actually helped you make sure your proposal is any good.
Yeah.
And that's how it works in the UK, pretty much.
Yeah. So, is there an application fee?
Is there an application fee? There is for taught masters. I don't know if there is for postgrad. PhD.
Yeah, I was told there wasn't.
There might be. There isn't normally, but there might be. But it's not going to be a substantial amount.
We don't have any specific courses on
Okay. Oh, and I have this too.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, I'll add you to our mailing list. But yeah, that's how it works in the UK. The first step is finding that professor who's going to supervise you and reaching out to a few people and seeing if they've got capacity. We have the largest number of researchers in the UK in our psychology. We we are the biggest
400 different masters courses.
active in researching psychology
some of the
department in the
finance
UK, so there's a lot of people there.
Another thing, I get this school mixed up with University College of London. What's the difference?
This is University College London.
Okay, wait. There's
Which other one? Sorry.
City University of London.
Okay.
Yeah, what's the difference between
Well, so
this and this one?
London has 40 universities in it.
A management
Yeah.
course.
So we're
It's a
a
different
separate
name.
institution,
Yeah.
completely separate university, but just got similar names. Yeah.
Okay.
But City University, I don't know a lot about City University actually, and they're in a slightly different place within London. Like, they offer a slightly different course.
Okay. Well, I'll check out the website.
Yeah, please do. And you'll be on our mailing list now. And if you've got any questions, this is me, so you can just drop me a line.
On a sort of project.
Okay. Thank you.
Do you want a bag to carry that around?
Yeah, sure.
In-depth report as well.
Oh, that's very. It's actually an evil marketing ploy to get you to advertise UCLs and every
That
other
is
person.
the management sciences.
What's that?
I said it's actually an evil marketing ploy just to get you to advertise UCL to every other student that's wandering around.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, no, you have to carry it facing out. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care.
How are you?
Which is why our biggest
University of Miami?
Yeah, Miami. Yes. Talking about real estate Miami.
Yes. So the program, since you're not coming from a business background,
there are some automatic scholarships depending on the courses. So if you go
that's something great we're looking forward to see for it's also
So I highly encourage I manage this program, so I know a lot about strategic regulation.
so that they know when your name comes through in the application process, they want to help.
They just base themselves just in the same way is that you do have quality-based and do that, and then just have guest lectures as well. There's a range of programs.
Could I take your contact details and then they would be getting in touch with you and you could start a conversation with the admission officers and I advise get also in touch with the department as a whole, their admission officer, so that they can see there is someone who's really keen to do it. Yeah? It's quite we're quite a leading university, so you have to essentially make the extra mile to just
I'll keep the cards together, please.
Yeah, you don't have to carry it.
That's right, and we have extra information. That's obviously very well.
So you know Charlie? Yeah. Oh, okay, great. Tell him hi, maybe he makes it. If you did it, it would be particularly interesting.
Lovely meeting you.
Tell Charlie that Brazil has developed a lot since he was there.
Yeah, of course.
That is a definite
Yeah. Well, you, as you say, you want to make sure that I mean, the main campus is in Canterbury.
And what we've done is we actually used to have two separate
Brussels as a whole is
and then we
very
also
safe.
had the
Interesting question.
conservation and because one used to look more kind of environmental and so things like ethnobotany, things like things like wildlife and development as well, sustainable development.
They will then get in touch with you.
Start a conversation. That actually one
MBA.
so that's what we have now. So the program will take you will still be able to take a couple of modules that are more linked to maybe environment.
And my advice again, get in touch early, find out what particular area you're working in. So that the application is not just an anonymous application, it's slightly more focused. Thank you. Yeah? Excellent. Well, looking forward to welcoming you, Kevin.
Thank you. Have a nice time.
Hi. I'm interested in applying for the PhD psychology.
Right.
And I think I came to the one you guys had last summer around this time, and they were telling us that you guys offer studentships.
They do, yes.
How does the studentship work? How does that work?
Well, you apply to the university, first of all, for a place, and see whether you get a place, depending on your grades and your interest, and then you will be automatically be entered into a pool if you want to go for one of the studentships. And then it depends on your grades, your research area, your research proposal, and whether you have actually made contact with any particular staff member.
All right. Is there
it needs a bit of
process,
planning.
like an application process for the studentship?
Well, as I said, you need a place in order to be eligible for the studentship.
Right, I get that, but is it a separate application after you get accepted to apply for a studentship?
I think you can tick a box when you apply that you want to be considered for one of the studentships.
Oh, okay.
So it's part of the overall application process.
Okay. And
So
it's
you
like
can't get a studentship without a place.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a job though, right?
Sorry?
It's like a job, the studentship?
Sometimes, yes.
Okay.
Say in our case we have PhD studentships, and I'm from history.
Okay.
And so our doctoral students, they also do part of the teaching, and they get extra money for that. And then you not only have your fees being paid, but you also earn a little bit of teaching money in addition to that. So that's
okay.
Shall I take your contact details, and they will then get in touch with you about the application process?
Yeah.